This is the Hamlin's monkey, also known as the owl-faced monkey, and it's one of the rarest monkeys you'll see in European zoos. Luckily, you can spot them at the Primate house in the Berlin Zoo. They've got a striking look. A vertical white stripe runs down the middle of their face, from between the eyes all the way to the upper lip. Just above that, where you'd expect eyebrows, there's a pale yellow horizontal stripe. Put together, it kind of looks like a big capital T on their face. Once you've seen one, you won't forget it. Hamlin's monkeys are Old World monkeys, and like their close relatives in the guanan genus, they have long tails, often even longer than their bodies. Their main diet consists of fruits and leaves. I have certainly seen them licking walls, though. Yes, really. They're mostly found in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, with a few living in Rwanda. Today, they're listed as a vulnerable species on the IUCN Red List. I saw 23 different primate species at the Berlin Zoo, an impressive variety. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I saw so many different species of monkeys. Except for 4 small nocturnal species, all the other primates are gathered in one section of the zoo, which makes it super convenient to explore. While many European zoos keep great apes, it's pretty rare to find one that houses 4 kinds. Berlin Zoo is one of those few. They've got gorillas, Bornean orangutans, chimpanzees, and bonobos. All of them live on the west side of the primate house, while the smaller monkeys and gibbons are on the east side. Let's start with the little monkeys. That's also the order I followed during my visit. The first monkeys I saw were Japanese macaques, living in an outdoor enclosure just outside the primate house. They're also known as snow monkeys. Yes, the famous hot spring-loving monkeys you've probably heard about. Most primates prefer warm climates, but snow monkeys are built different. They can handle freezing temperatures and snowy environments. Even when it drops to minus 10 degrees Celsius or lower in winter, they're totally fine. In fact, snow monkeys live farther north than any other non-human primate. The northernmost populations live on the Shimokita Peninsula, the northernmost point of Honshu, almost up to Hokkaido. Compared to that, Europe's climate is a breeze for them. When I visited in winter, they were all running around outside, full of energy. Their faces were bright red. But don't worry, that's just how they look, not because they were cold. There used to be toque macaques living nearby as well. They're another rare and endangered species. But from what I've heard, they've since been moved to Scarup Zoo in Denmark. Right now, only 2 zoos in all of Europe still keep them. Next up was the Primate House. You can tell the building's been around for a while. It honestly felt like stepping back into the 1990s. These are wedge-capped capuchins. You can tell they're part of the capuchin monkey genus by the distinctive curl at the end of their tails. That's a signature trait of this genus. Most capuchins I've seen also have a little cap on their heads, though the color and size can vary depending on the species. Some wedge-capped capuchins even have impressively long canine teeth that stick out of their mouths. One particularly strange behavior seen in wild wedge-capped capuchins is that they rub millipedes all over their bodies, sometimes for up to 2 minutes. They even share the millipedes with their monkey buddies, so everyone can take turns rubbing. Scientists still aren't completely sure why they do this. One theory is that when millipedes feel threatened, they release toxic chemicals, and the monkeys may be using those chemicals as a natural insect repellent. At the Berlin Zoo, the wedge-capped capuchin group is quite large. They occupy several connected rooms. They're super active and engaging, which makes them a real highlight to watch. There are 2 species of gibbons in the primate house, and the first one I saw was a pileated gibbon. His name is Casper, and he's already 55 years old this year. He's probably not the oldest animal in the zoo, but considering that gibbons usually live around 30 years, Casper has definitely outlived all expectations. His peers from back in the day are long gone, and now he lives alone. There's something a little lonely about the way he sits there. The other gibbon species here is one I'm more familiar with, the Siamang. They're the largest of all the gibbons, basically the great apes among the small apes. Their most distinctive feature is the large gular sac under their necks. When they start calling out, the sac inflates like a balloon. Siamangs are fairly common in European zoos, and quite popular with visitors. Spider monkeys are another type of New World monkey. They're known for their long, slender limbs and tail. When fully extended, They look a bit like a giant spider, which is how they got their name. Species in the Atellus genus are also considered among the most intelligent of all New World primates. The ones in this enclosure are black-headed spider monkeys, specifically the Colombian subspecies. While the species as a whole is classified as endangered, this particular subspecies is doing slightly better in terms of conservation status, which is at least some good news. The red tedi monkey is another small primate from South America. It belongs to the Calisbini subfamily, originally classified under the genus Calicebus, but now placed in the genus Plecturocebus. These little monkeys look a bit like Goeldi's marmosets, with round faces and bright, curious eyes that instantly give off an adorable vibe. They love climbing and hanging out on perches. I've never seen them come down to the ground. Another adorable little creature I saw was the black-rumped agouti. It was hilarious to watch. It kept carrying walnuts in its mouth and hiding them all over the place. I actually saw it bury 2 or 3 of them with my own eyes. Whether it'll ever find them again is anyone's guess. But no worries, I took photos of everything. If it can't remember where it left them, it can always ask me in the comments section. Here's the outdoor area for the marmosets. The viewing angle was a bit awkward. It was starting to give my neck a hard time, so I had to shift positions. I didn't quite figure out how many marmoset species were actually there, but I spotted 3 in total, all fairly common ones, so I won't go into too much detail. Now, let's head over to another part of the building to check out the 4 great ape species. First, let's give a proper spotlight to Antifatu, the world's oldest living gorilla. She's about to turn 68, an incredible age for a gorilla. The outdoor area for the gorillas is really well designed. Plenty of sunshine, lots of space, and a surrounding moat that keeps a respectful distance between the animals and visitors, helping minimize disturbance. Berlin Zoo has a long history with gorillas. They started keeping them nearly a century ago. The very first one, named Bobby, has since become a symbol of the zoo. The current leader of the gorilla family is Sango, a 19-year-old silverback. The rest of the group is made up of females: 22-year-old Jambala, 27-year-old Bibi, 38-year-old Mpenzi, and little Tilla, who's 3 years old. Although she's still young, Tilla's definitely a gorilla, not a little monkey. Another rare great ape species here is the bonobo. They've made appearances in some of my earlier videos as well. The bonobo's outdoor area uses a combination of metal mesh and glass panels. It doesn't feel as open and spacious as the gorilla enclosure, so the viewing experience isn't quite as impressive. But there's an upside. The bonobos actually make great use of the mesh, treating it as part of their climbing setup. I didn't take many photos of the Sumatran orangutan and chimpanzee outdoor areas because there are too many visitors and the glass is seriously reflective. From what I remember, their enclosures looked quite similar to the bonobo area. Nothing noticeably different. As for their indoor habitat, well, to be honest, it's definitely not the best I've seen. Neither the floor space nor the ceiling height is particularly impressive. The environment feels a bit bare and lacks naturalistic elements, so it doesn't really come close to simulating their wild habitat. That said, considering the age of the building, it wouldn't be fair to judge it by the standards of newly built, modern enclosures. The good news, though, is that I spotted an announcement on the zoo's website. Plans for a brand new gorilla habitat are officially in the works. While I haven't seen the full design yet, I'm optimistic. Given Berlin Zoo's nearly century-long experience with great apes, I'm confident they'll create something truly world-class, unique, thoughtful, and fitting for these incredible animals.